Da, da, da.
Okay, thank you.
Someone's coming. Here we go.
Yes.
For you.
And she
Sorry, is that a
disappeared.
yes or a no? What just happened? We even dressed up nicely for them as well.
I didn't brush my beard though.
I think that was it. 2014 Sovereign Bastards Award. Privatising warfare, profiting from the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories, abduction, imprisonment and torture of children, implicated in the unexplained death of Jimmy Mubenga, and the explained death of the asylum seeker and egregious injury of 77 others on Manus Island just this Monday past, February 17, 2014. The explanation: they shot them. In the role of Australia's bought and paid for illegal jailer bastards.
It's always an honour for WACA to present a Operation Sovereign Bastards Award. This is our first for the year, but I have a feeling it won't be our last.
Oh, wait. Okay, yes, now.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Manus Islands, which is the
Yeah.
situation that's triggered us coming here today?
Yeah, well, I listened to some of the recordings from asylum seekers.
Yep.
I listened to some recordings from some of the asylum seekers that the Asylum Resource Centre posted online. And the people there on the ground make it very clear that the Papua New Guinea G4S staff, which are funded by the Australian government, were the ones beating them and attacking them. So we did a little bit of digging into G4S and discovered that they're quite the bastards, hence why they have this award.
Yeah.
Operation Sovereign Bastards Award.
There's no hierarchy.
So we're very concerned that 77 asylum seekers were hurt and one killed, and G4S is actually in charge of that. Now, they have a long reputation of running gulags in Russia, secret prisons in Israel. In fact, their detention centres in the UK have a really high rate of suicide and self-harm, and we're seeing this repeated here in Australia. So we think that G4S's contract should be cancelled after they've, of course, received this wonderful award, just to demonstrate that the Australian people are not going to tolerate the outsourcing of torture and the criminalisation and militarisation of people seeking asylum, which, under the United Nations Convention on Refugees, it is not illegal to seek asylum by boat, and yet we're locking them up in open-air prisons, and the people that are there to protect them, which we fund, but they won't accept our award, are the ones actually traumatising them. So we've kind of had enough, and rallies and signing petitions are not quite cutting it. We think it's time that the people go direct to the corporations that are being used to outsource torture and abuse. So we're here today, and unfortunately they're not wanting to accept our award. And I even had a perfectly beautiful one framed for them. It costs time and effort to do this. I don't understand why they won't accept it. The receptionist is not doing her job. She keeps running away from her desk. So I don't know what we're going to do, and it seems they called in their buddies from somewhere else, a bunch of suited men. Oh, there we go. There's the surveillance guy that was sitting downstairs in the cafe watching us.
That let us slip by.
Let us slip by. He didn't do his job very well. For a surveillance company that's supposed to be securing the world.
They're not very good though, are
They're not very good at it, are they?
Historically, very recently, today, they're pretty hopeless, aren't they?
Well, they're profiteering off war, off secret prisons in Israel, and they're also profiteering off people that are fleeing countries that we've probably bombed or placed such harsh economic sanctions on that people are starving. So it seems like if they're going to continue to do this work, maybe they should be a not-for-profit. How about that? They don't actually make any money off it. That would be a good start to hurt their bottom line, but I've got a feeling they actually train their staff to injure people and to mentally torment people, much like the American military trains its soldiers. So it's not surprising they're involved in arms and all sorts of shady military deals. They run, apparently, set up a interrogation prison in Russia, and as Kaz mentioned earlier, secret Israeli prisons. And M was telling us a great fact that I didn't realise about their bastardry. before, right here in Australia with our Indigenous community. Can you recap that?
Yeah, in 2008, an Indigenous man was killed. He was left in the back of an unair-conditioned transport van, and he died. And that was our friends here at G4S transporting them.
Who did that? And that was for several hours, wasn't it? He was in, is that right? In the back of a vehicle?
Yeah. Long enough that he died from heat.
Yeah, yeah.
We prosecute parents who leave their babies in cars and kill them by heat.
Yes.
But not security guards.
No. Security guards are pretty much becoming the private mercenaries to which Australia outsources torture and all sorts of military-styled crimes, human rights abuses. I guess we're going to have to leave this award here, and we kind of think that, you know, since they are so into detaining people and creating secret prisons, that they would feel right at home if we use this award to make sure they're secured within their offices.
Okay.
So I think we might just leave this in here.
Wow, that's
You know what they say, no one in, no one out.
no one in, no one out.
How about that? That's how easy it is.
That's
you
great.
You too can make a detention centre at any corporate office.
Suddenly I'm proud to be an Australian. I never thought that would happen.